Hey everybody, today we're going to build a farm that produces an endless supply of dried kelp blocks to be used in furnaces, blast furnaces, and smokers. Please follow along. So the first thing we need to do is build a redstone clock. So we're going to build out this little T shape just like this, and then we're going to break out that block in the middle. Then we're going to stick a lever on the side of the top block and a redstone torch on the bottom. We're going to place a repeater in the middle and click it one time, so it's like that. And then we're going to place a piece of redstone dust in the bottom, and you'll see that the clock starts ticking at that point. We can click the lever off and it stops. And then when we flick it back on, it starts going again. So that's how we know it's working. Next, we're going to break out these 14 blocks. Then we're going to place down 5 pistons facing upwards here, just like that. Then we're going to grab some redstone dust and connect it along the back of the pistons. Then we're going to place a redstone repeater and click it one time. And then we're going to go ahead and place 2 more pieces of redstone dust here. Then we're going to go ahead and cover that up with some blocks. That, but leave this block on the end open, and then one more around the front. So those pistons will be completely surrounded on the back side with those blocks. Then we're going to add another row of blocks here. We're going to skip that first one in that row. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and place some sticky pistons facing towards us, just like this. Then we're going to go ahead and cover up the front here. Now we're going to connect the back side. So we're going to connect to the redstone dust line from the clock and connect all of these sticky pistons, and you'll see the arms will start to protrude like that. Then we can go ahead and we're going to place our sand in the front here. So that will get pushed and pulled by the sticky piston, so let's not place that piece there. The next row of sand we're going to place directly on top of the arms of the sticky pistons. There we go. And now we'll cover that entire top layer of sand with blocks. Just like that. Perfect. Now we'll build up another layer here. And then we're going to place 5 pistons facing us, just like that, directly in front of that sand. And then let's go ahead and build out one more here on the front. Now we're going to go up another layer. So we should have a total of 3 levels off of that bottom layer. Then we'll start closing up the top here, but we're going to leave that row open directly above the sand. And now because it's getting night, we're building in survival, I'm just going to take a quick little nap here. Alright, so we're going to add some ladders to this side here. This will allow us to access the top of the farm if we ever need to replant the kelp. So I'm going to take some buttons, and along the top here we're going to place some buttons, and this will just help hold the water back when we add the water to the farm. Now we're going to go ahead and add glass panes across the front. Break out these bottom blocks. Now we can go ahead and place down our smokers. So we're gonna go directly in front of the farm here, skipping one block, and place down 10 smokers. Then we're gonna place hoppers going directly into the smokers. So you'll need to make sure that you're crouched you're placing these. And then on top of the hoppers, we're going to place 5 double chests. Okay, and then we need to place some hoppers going into the back of the double chests. It doesn't look like I can reach it from up here, so let's hop down. See if we can do it from the bottom. There we go. That. So that will collect all the kelp that gets broken off and push it into the double chests, which will then go down into the smokers. So now we need to come along the back side and we need to connect that top row of pistons. So we're going to go ahead and add blocks here. And then we're going to start building up with a stack of blocks and redstone torches. And you'll notice as you're building these, each torch you add will alternate between the on and off position. So it should look just like this as you're building it. There we go. Now connect these blocks here. Alright, so next to the redstone torch, we're going to add a repeater. And then we're going to go ahead and add some redstone dust, which will connect those pistons along the top. Stick that down. And then we can connect this to our redstone clock by adding a piece of redstone dust right there. Now we have to connect the sticky pistons on the bottom, that last piece of redstone dust. Top here, we're going to place our water in. You'll notice I added some trapdoors on mine just to cover it up, but still give easy access if we need to replace this kelp here at any point. So let's go ahead and plant our kelp. Okay, close those up and put back down. Alright, let's test it out. So you can see here, the pistons along the bottom are forcing the sand to refresh, so the kelp will grow each time. And then the pistons along the top are cutting that off. And then those are going to the chests and then down into the smokers. I'm going to hop down and break out these blocks in front of the smokers as well as underneath, so we can collect the dried kelp from the smokers. Now let's break out these 2 blocks in the front so we can place our double chests for collection. And we're going to place down our crafter right here in this position. So that will push the dried kelp blocks into the chest. So now we need to connect our hoppers. I'm actually going to break a couple of these out here because I need to get one into the back of the crafter first, and then another hopper into the back of that one. And then we'll just start connecting all these hoppers to those first 2 hoppers that we placed. And we can put our smokers back down on top of those. So again, crouching, let's go ahead and place it back. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and connect these last 2 hoppers into the hoppers that are connected to the crafter. And we're going to take another little nap here again. Alright, so now we need to lay down our redstone circuit in the front to allow the Autocrafter to work. So we're going to start by breaking out these blocks here, and then we're going to place a comparator that will be reading the output signal from the crafter, and then one facing into the first comparator, and then a repeater just like that. Let's go ahead and break these other blocks along the front. And then here we need to go down one more level. Let's cover up that little hole there. Alright. And break out this last block under the chest. So now we just need to connect the redstone dust along here, around the front, and there. So now we'll get the signal from the crafter, the repeater will push it along, and then back into the block under the crafter. So now we need to place one more crafter facing into that comparator there, and we're going to go ahead and close off all of these spaces in the crafter. Now I'm just going to take some blocks and I'm going to cover up some of these holes. It's not necessary for the farm to work, I just want to cover them up a little bit there. But make sure you don't place it over any of those redstone components and break the signal. So now we need to add some fuel to our smokers. So you can see they're starting to fire up here now. Then let's close off the front of this farm just like that. There we go. And now if we look in the crafter, we can see the dried kelp is going in there, and then it's pushing out a block of dried kelp, and that will be going into our double chest for collection. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel so you get notifications about future videos.